Hey everybody, welcome back. And again, it's Merrill with ExitSaaS Automations. Welcome back to our channel, to this third video in exploring our roofing CRM, which could be your roofing CRM that gets you out of costly subscription fees that you will never pay for the rest of your company's life. All right, saving you thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of your company. So here we go. Let's jump right back in and let's go to our access code. And let's click our terms of use, enter demo. Here we go. All right, so we have discussed all of the, if you've been watching the previous videos, we went through all the basic CRM stuff that is packed into our CRM that you find in any CRM. And then we looked through some of the different things for your field guys: job map, canvassing, store map, crew tracking, as well as our sales mobile app and our crew mobile app. All right, and just so you know, the entire CRM is mobile friendly and can be used from any mobile device as it is. So let's get into the sales stuff. I specifically want to cover this time the contacts area. So we have tried to build this roofing CRM as if it were built by a roofer, not a software developer. All right, so we said, what would a roofer need to see when they open up this this demo? And as you're going through this demo, you may have some pointers for us, some ways that we can perfect it. So, but what we want to do for this video is we want to explore the individual contact area, because that's where you and your folks will be spending the most of your time inside the CRM. So we're going to go ahead and click on a contact here. We're going to use me. I put myself in here as a contact, and although that is not my real phone number. All right, so when we get into this contact, we see the status, where this lead is in the pipeline. Okay, then we also see the job, the value of that job, how many days that job has been in the system and in its current status. All right, you can have multiple jobs listed for each customer. You might have repeat customers that you install their roof, then they come back for service work, some repairs of basic wind damage, or maybe they come back to you a couple of years later for a new full roof replacement. We love that. Who that lead is assigned to which of your team members is working that lead. Before we get into all these tabs, we have our activity log. Everything that happens in this CRM regarding this lead is going to be added to this activity log automatically. Okay, and any events that are scheduled, any appointments that are scheduled, tasks that are scheduled for that customer are going to show up on that customer's calendar in both the calendar view and the list view right below it. All right, and then you can log additional activities here, maybe emails, visits, inspections. You can log those in. If you want to see who attended, or a lot of people love this feature in some of the big CRMs, this @mention feature. Say you want to mention an employee and notify them of this particular log activity, or you want to assign them a task or something, you can just hit that @ symbol, and you can choose an entire team that you want to notify, a group, because in our CRM, you can group your employees into groups, or you can notify individuals. Let's say we want to do Joe. So @Joe is automatically in there. And when this activity is logged, Joe is going to get a notification that's going to pop up here in his list of notifications immediately. Okay, so we got that @mention feature built into here. A lot of people love this feature. Okay, and then let's go through some other things. I'm going to save two of these tabs, Roof and Material Takeoff, for the last, because they are phenomenal tools that we are still perfecting, but they are fantastic as they are even now. So you've got your follow-ups for this customer. You can add follow-ups and notes. All right, photos. This would be photos of their roof, photos of their house, whatever photos you need, inspection photos. And I don't think I mentioned in our sales app that when your folks are canvassing, if they climb up on a roof to take pictures, they can actually draw on those photos with their phone when they're taking pictures, and anything they write or type or draw on those photos gets saved on those photos into the CRM. So your sales folks, when they do their roof climb and pictures, they will show up in this photos area for this customer. All right, then you have the estimates you've sent them. You might have created multiple estimates for them. Kind of take a quick look at the create estimate page. All right, you can do the estimate. You can select a template that you want to use, preview that template, upload property photos so that when you send this estimate over to them, they know that that estimate is in fact for their house and their roof. Or you can save it as a draft for sending later. Any notes you want to put in there, terms and conditions. So all that stuff is in here for you, the square feet, roof pitch, all those things that you need for sending over estimates. Let's go back to the lead record here. Then you got your contracts. Once they've signed their estimate, then you can go in and go through and create a contract for that customer. And these fields in the contracts are totally customizable. If you can't customize them yourself from within the settings up in here, we will help customize those for you based on your company's needs. Okay, so let's go back to our lead record again. So you have the contracts, emails. This is a cool feature that you get right out of the box. All right, you have email from within the console. You can send emails right to your customer and receive emails. And when these emails go out and when an email is received in response, guess what? It's all logged in the activity log. Okay, so everything is kept track of. Now, rather than your employee being able to type some crazy stuff in here and accidentally send it to your customer, something they typed in there that was they wrote because they were having a bad day, you can select from templates, build email templates, and you can force. You can say you can allow free typing, or you can say templates only, so that your employees only have access. They have to select a template, and then that you've pre-built and send that email. So you have the ability to set limitations on the communications that go in and out of your company from within the CRM to customers where it matters most. Messages. Once we connect your messaging service like Twilio, you can send SMS messages to your customers from within the CRM. And another time, it's a great idea to use templates, pre-built templates, so that your employees who may not have either the best grammar or the most professional way of responding or messaging people, you limit them to using templates. And they pick the templates that you can build yourself, and they send them right from within your CRM, so people aren't keeping customer correspondence on their own personal mobile devices. And as always, guess what happens when these SMS messages get sent out? They get added to the activity log. So everything that happens between your sales folks, your production folks, and your customers is all 100% transparent and recorded for historical purposes. Because if you get a complaint down the road, or a customer expresses dissatisfaction with your work, you want to be able to show them the correspondence between you and that customer to do a little CYA. All right, then you've got your insurance stuff, some other stuff. Any documents you need to uploaded for that customer are tied to that customer's records. Okay, so kind of some basic CRM stuff in here, but really, really important stuff to have. So let's take a look at the last two really cool tabs. First of all, the roof tab. Now, what we've tried to do with this CRM, again, our goal is to get you out of as many monthly subscription fees as we possibly can. And one of the things we're building and that we've built is something to try to replace those subscriptions like iRoofing, some of those software, those subscriptions that you have to use to sketch out your roofs and develop your material takeoffs. So we built this system here that allows you to see the Google Earth. We're going to connect that to your Google account. You get Google Earth built right in here. So you can see the roof you're looking at. It's based on the customer's address right up here. You put in that address and it's going to put in their house in Google Earth. Now the great thing about Google Earth is it already sets the scale based on how zoomed in you are. And I think we've got this setting set up to max zoom already by default. So here's where you can actually trace out the roof sections to begin to put together your material takeoff list. So what we're going to do is we've positioned the roof where we want it. We're going to go ahead and set scale. We can set a scale here. Like I know this edge of my roof is about 26 feet, like that. Okay, and just one line here. I'm going to set the scale. There you go, 26 feet. Okay, now that scale is going to determine when I go ahead and capture this roof, and we can do our capture by selecting that house, and then we capture it, and then it comes over here. And once you're over here, now you're on the trace section where you begin drawing out the sections of the roof. You can see we've got some drawn here already. Okay, and if we want to draw a new section, we'll just hit draw new section, and we can start drawing out the sections of this roof. And there's a new section. And we can go over here and we can also start labeling the edges of our roof. You can click on the eave and you can label all the eaves. Click on the ridge, you can label all of your ridges and your rakes and your valleys, etc. So then when you come down here, it's already starting to calculate based on the scale, based on your roof section drawings, and based on your pitch, your default pitches. It's going to start producing the total number of squares, square feet, how much hip and valley that you have on that roof, and it's going to be listing all of each one of the roof sections and the square feet of each section, and allows you to change the roof pitch of each section. And as you change these roof pitches, you can see it's adjusting the squares and the square footage. All right, and you can check off whether maybe a section is a dormer and it needs to be subtracted from the section that it's drawn on, from its parent section that it's drawn on top of. Okay, it's going to subtract that from the section that you selected as its parent and adjust your squares. So really, really cool feature. And once we've got our roof sections all sketched out, then we hit save and calculate. And then we go over to our material takeoff. And let's say we're going to be doing a shingle replacement on this entire roof. So we select shingle, and let's do an Atlas architectural shingle. And let's hit calculate. And there we go. We've got how many bundles of shingles we need, the underlayment rolls, starter strip, ridge hip caps, all those different things that are going on here. It looks like I must have left something off because, of course, these numbers are not 100% accurate right now. Because I probably, in my roof sketching, I probably just did something that I changed something that didn't let these numbers quite work out. But you can hit calculate, and it's going to give you all of your takeoff information for the materials you're looking for. If we want to do metal roof panels, let's say we're doing 18-inch metal roof panels, and we hit calculate, Now it's going to do something different. Now we've got all of our squares. We got our square footage, our hip and valley, our waist, total panel linear feet, panel area, how many total metal panels we need for these 4 roof sections. You see it, we got it down here. Your underlayment, your eave closure strips, ridge closure strips, your panel screws, your waist, all that is here. And then it also produces panel layout drawings for each one of the sections that you drew. Now it's important that you make sure you have all of your eave measure, all of your your edge measurements labeled so that you get a proper panel direction layout on your panel layouts. But then it goes down, you got your consolidated, you got your cut list here, and then you've got your export to CSV. This is where you export a CSV list of all your needed panels, send it over to your metal supplier. He can drop that CSV right into his machines and spit out all your metal panels. So really, really cool features. We're trying to get you away from some of the other softwares, subscriptions that force you to pay for each report that you generate. So you can sketch the roof out and get an accurate material takeoff. And again, as everything, you always want to double check these numbers against a kind of a manual process, but we're in the process of doing that ourselves, making sure that these numbers are accurate when your CRM launches. So fantastic stuff right here in the customer or contact record. So that's all I want to cover for this video. Thanks for stopping by, and we've got more videos to come that discuss our roofing CRM and how we can help you get out of those costly subscription fees into a CRM that is owned by you and totally customizable. One thing I didn't mention is when we build the CRM and we hand it off to you, if you have another developer that you want to work with to make modifications on your CRM, we give you all the developer documentation that any developer would need in order to understand what we've built and make modifications and upgrades for you. So that the great thing about that is you're not tied to ExitSaaS as your developer. You're not reliant upon us. You can hire any developer, maybe out on Fiverr.com or a local in-house guy, and if they can do the changes for you, you have a lot of flexibility. You're not tied to one person for support. So if ExitSaaS, my company, ends up going away, God forbid, then you're not out in the cold when it comes to support. You can hire any developer that can get in, read the documentation, and know exactly how to make the changes in this CRM for you. So you have lots and lots of support options other than the company that built it, which that's another model where a lot of companies, they'll build you a CRM, but they force you to go back to them for your support and to pay them fees to give you upgrades and build new features and fix things that might break. So we like to give you that flexibility because we want to make you the owners of your own system. So there we go. Thanks for stopping by, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.